Judiciary of Guam has been operating on a $24.7 million budget. But in the coming year, Court Policy Planning and Communications Director Joshua Tenorio says they'll be asking for an additional $5 million. For the last decade, the courts have traditionally been receiving less than what they've asked for. Tenorio says the additional funding is needed for several things, including the mandated law enforcement officers' pay raises that will cost $2.5 million.
In order to do that, our budget needs to be increased about $2.5 million. Another big expense is about $1 million in maintenance and software. And that's primarily for a lot of the fusion center expenses we have to populate all of the criminal history information from all of the law enforcement agencies on Guam and sending those things to the FBI and things like that.
As we reported, the court has already processed the GG1s for its probation officers and marshals, but because there was no funding attached to the legal mandate, the last 20% of the total 40% raises were never paid. Tenorio says the additional funding would be used to pay increases in utilities, retirement contributions, health insurance, and to ensure increments.
In essence, we are holding everything at the line, but providing the legislature with the increases in things that are growing in all the other branches.
The additional funding request would also go to help fund the continuation of the highly successful juvenile drug and mental health courts.
Right now, there are 325 juveniles in drug court. The big portion are for first-time offenders, but there is a population that have serious addiction issues, and we have a waiting list. And so we're asking for additional juvenile probation officers so that we can accommodate the increases we're seeing in juvenile arrests coming to the court system.
Tenorio says there are at least 40 juveniles waiting to get into the juvenile drug court. The judiciary is also hopeful that the legislature will support funding the mental health court, as federal funding that was used to start it up has since run out.
This is the time now where the local government has to make a decision whether or not we will continue to have mental health court. The funds expired around November, and we've been bridging that funding right now using some of the cost savings we had in lowering our telephone costs, and also we have about 13 judiciary employees that are deployed.
The Judiciary of Guam is scheduled to present its budget to lawmakers on July 6th. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Mindy Egan.